So, a few months ago I was sitting around wasting away my miserable existence as always on TikTok, and I came upon a certain anime trailer. Seeing as this trailer seemed to be promising, I acted just as any reasonable person on TikTok would. I liked that shit, saved it, and didn't look at it for the next 4 months. Now, fast forward last week, before making this video, I got bored to the extent that I actually dared to look into my saved folder and dig up the manga and anime I've saved for myself to read. And lo and behold, I need views, so I'm making this video. Now, but in all seriousness, I'm gonna do a review for those wondering if this anime is going to be worth the watch based on the limited amount of chapters out in the manga. So let's start off with the story. Initially, the story starts off with Akira Tendao, an office worker being thrust into the jaws of one of Japan's notorious black companies. These companies are essentially slave drivers that have a goal to squeeze their workers of any and all work potential, making them spend all their available time at work. Having spent years at this company, Akira slowly spirals towards depression and despair. I mean, this man had to witness his work crush give his boss the Meat Canyon Grimace Shake special every day. I don't blame him. But this is where the story changes. One morning, the world is now a zombie apocalypse, and seemingly as the end of the world is approaching, the already will-broken man decides that now is the time to do whatever he wants to do with his life. Drinking beer in the morning? No problem. Asking out your work crush while she's sleeping with your boss? No biggie. Somehow survive hordes of zombies? Light work. The story really accurately reflects Akira's mental boom. He only sees the positive in things alongside with his newfound freedom. I mean, in all, it's really a lighthearted story contrasted with one of the worst possible environments. Of course, logic and reasoning are all thrown out the window, as that would make the story too realistic, but this aspect is what gives it charm. The side characters are all equally as weird and awkward, but that makes the chaos just that little bit more enjoyable. There isn't really any rhyme or reason to the story, just a man and his friends trying to make the most of their lives in the apocalypse. Although ironically, it's this apocalypse that gave them the opportunity to be themselves. Beyond the farce of comedy, there is a lesson in living life to the fullest no matter how stupid you might initially think it might be. And following this logic, the manga is simple and episodic. The little stories don't last more than a few chapters, but it helps keep the lighthearted attitude while also not taking away from the essence of the story. Now, the art needs no mention, as it's mostly definitely well made, and its simple yet still borderline serious style perfectly suits the story. I mean, just look at the definition. There's really nothing like dude-ass to set apart great manga artists from the rest. Now, moving away from the manga and focusing more on the anime, slated to release on July 9th, I have pretty high hopes for this one. I think most people got hype off the initial trailer, and I hope they won't be too disappointed since the essence of the story isn't really fully translated in the trailer. I mean, even then, the one thing that I'm really excited about is the animation. The anime is going to be made by Bug Studios, which is a relatively new studio, so to speak, but they've gotten some good work under their belt. Anime like Komi-san Can't Communicate and Ancient Magus Bride are good examples of some of the work they had a hand in making. If all goes well, we can hope for the anime to be promising. More so, following the slapstick comedy from the manga, I think the studio is perfect for this piece. I'm not too sure if they will resort to CGI, but honestly, I have a feeling that we'll be pleasantly surprised with the outcome regardless of what they choose to do. I mean, all in all, there's nothing like a guy diving in some literal shit to perk you up in the morning, so I think this anime will be a hit with those willing to give it a try, and I can't help but to recommend it. But then again, who knows? People are gonna talk shit. It's probably gonna be like something along the lines of, I don't even remember what video I made, but like, I remember I made it and I was excited about the anime for the longest time, and then it ended up being a show, and everyone made sure to point that out in the comments. So, I don't know, make sure to do that if I this one up as well. But yeah, go watch it. I don't know. It's a great manga. Go read it too. Bye-bye.